What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas.
They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships.
The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Raybard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle will be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchet is wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Ishtvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stuck up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranyk for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him. I'll be with you. Good health to you.
Is there anything you can tell me about Talmberg's weak points?
The truth is, Talmberg has far too few weaknesses. Who'd have thought that was something I'd come to regret?
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranyk for long. Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, Bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry.
See you later.
Hey! The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Master Fafar, Sir Radzig sent me to you.
Did he? He must think highly of you.
I'll do the best I can.
That's good, because this is damned important. Silver's our most valuable asset.
How can I help with these, evil forebodings of yours?
Sir Radzig may make light of it, but a large quantity of silver has been discovered hereabouts, and no one is guarding the Skullet's mines, the most likely source.
You really think someone could be stealing the silver from the mines? I would have thought that would be quite a job, wouldn't it?
It certainly would, which is why I'd like you to go and check out not only the mine gallery, but also the yard with the smelter and the waterworks. See what kind of state it's all in, and if anything looks suspicious.
Is that the yard next to the Skallet's mill?
That's the one. I don't know what state it's in now. There used to be a stock of charcoal and smelted silver there.
A silver store? Could there really be any left?
I doubt it. I'd be surprised if it was still standing at all.
You said mine gallery. Just one?
Boy, there's such a maze there that it would take a week to crawl through the place. There's only one gallery I'm interested in, at the foot of the hill by a small fish pond.
Why just that one?
Because I was expecting to find a seam there. All the indications pointed to it. So if anyone is stealing silver, it'll be right there.
What about these waterworks? What's there?
A stamping mill and washing troughs. They're on the bend in the river below the castle. You can't miss them. There are big tanks and equipment all around.
Should I be expecting trouble then?
Well, I definitely wouldn't treat the job like a visit to church on Sunday. You could find yourself facing that pack of hungry dogs trailing the army, or a band of brigands.
I see. Well, you and Sir Radzig can rely on me. That's all clear. I'll get going.
Goodbye.
God be with you, good sir.
How are things with you?
I'm worried. I've a bad feeling about all this.
How's that?
I couldn't say. I just feel it in my guts. Like when you eat something bad and you have to keep running to the outhouse. Or maybe I ate something bad. Farewell.
God almighty. Has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes?
How are things with you?
I'm worried. I praise the Dibbish gets the better of them cutthroats. I wouldn't want that foreign bastard lording it over us here.
No. I don't suppose anyone wants a thieving cutthroat for a lord.
See you later.
How are you, Henry?
How are you?
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Take care.
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Keyser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Keyser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
He was with Sigismund.
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlen Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sasau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all. God be with you.
Good day to you.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too.
The charcoal burners nearby have some stocks of pitch they'll let us have.
That's handy. So Robard will be pleased. What little we had left was running out, and he was getting worried.
Well, he can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get someone to take care of it. Farewell.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
Henry, I'm glad you
I need to
stopped
bring a
by.
few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any to spare. I can hold out a while with what I have, but I'd be running short myself if it came to that. You'll have to try somewhere else. See you later.
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
To Townburg? Why? Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm running low on beer, and I've no kegs left. Ask again later, or go ask elsewhere. Take care.
Greetings.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could, but there's nothing in it for me.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg towards Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd only spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers would drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't occur to anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least?
God be with you.
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are. I'm gonna put a word in about how well you look after us. Like your own kith and kin. Good luck to you.
I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here.
That's the lot.
Great. If we're really going to have to storm the walls, then at least it should be with full bellies. Oh, and here's something for your trouble. Take care now.
God be with you.
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man, simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. When they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
How goes it, Sir Bernard?
How goes it? We're sitting here under the castle, and all day long there's folks hewing stones. My ears are ringing as if I'd been struck on the head, which is just how I feel.
I felt that way too since the night of the attack.
That went horribly wrong. And even so, we were lucky. Could have gone much worse. See you later.
Good health to you.
The troops are falling asleep on guard duty. Do you have anything to help?
There's a recipe I know. I could brew up enough for 2 or 3 men with what I have here.
No, I need enough for a whole bloody encampment. Actually, for 3 camps.
That much? It would take me a week just to pick the herbs for it. Unless you were to do a bit of the legwork yourself.
Seems only reasonable, since I'm the one who wants it. What do you need?
1 handful of valerian and 2 of mint, but make sure it's fresh. And a little wormwood wouldn't hurt. God be with you. Jesus Christ, your clothes!
I've gathered up all we need.
Excellent. This will probably do the trick. And do you have the wormwood?
Here it is.
Fine, fine. I'll get started. It's going to take a while. Good luck, then.
Oh, come on. What are you trying on here?
Huh? By the horn of Joshua, you startle me. I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir Tobias Fayfar, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fayfar? Tobias Fayfar? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fayfar has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn. I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's, but that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
Why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case, I went to Bethlern Castle.
They locked you up in Bethlern?
Not quite. It's a royal castle. They leave me to my own devices there. Frankly, this so-called banishment has been a bit of a blessing. I have peace and quiet to attend to my opus and a band of able assistants. Although I have lost quite a few of my patrons thanks to all this unrest.
And why are you here in Sasau?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So you see, I can't simply take my leave.
What is it you're working on, sir?
Belli Fortis. A great book of war machines and weapons. My opus magnum, my legacy. All you have seen here are but snippets of my great work. Mark my words. One day, our whole world will be run by machines and inventions not yet dreamed of.
Of course. Any day now they'll plough our fields and milk our cattle.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking aloud about things for battle. Could I help you escape, perhaps?
Who says I want to?
But you said you couldn't leave, sir.
Young man, I can't leave because I gave my word I'd help with the building of the monastery here. And my word is my bond. I have no intention of sneaking away like some criminal.
Who do you work for here?
My contract is with the abbot himself, but I discussed the work details with Carol, the monastery's master builder.
Could I not just pay off the master builder for your services?
I doubt it. Carol is only interested in the construction. As long as he has the money to pay the craftsman's wages, that's all he needs.
Ah, as long as he has enough for wages, you say?
Yes, what are you thinking?
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realise that, but Sasau Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carol received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carol usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do. You really can't come with me right away?
Damn. I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's, but that can't be done with a quill and parchment.
I'll try and find some way of getting you out of here.
Look here, I don't want any trouble. You better talk to Corral, the master builder.
Good health to you.
I need some help from Master Conrad.
Then go and talk to him.
The thing is, he's already agreed, but he'd have to go to Talmberg.
I can't consent to that. He signed a contract for building the monastery, and we pay him a pile of coin for every day he spends here.
Supposing I compensated you for his brief absence, perhaps with some coin?
What use would coin be to me if the monastery roof collapses? Then I'd be the one having to pay compensation.
But the conquest of Talmberg is more important for the province.
From what I hear, it's awfully important first and foremost for your lord. Sassau's always been neutral. Anyway, I take my orders directly from the abbot.
Conrad would only have to leave for a few days. Surely you can manage without him for a short while.
We might, if he didn't get himself killed there. I've given my answer. No. He stays here until the abbot says otherwise, and the abbot isn't here at the moment.
Thank you for your invaluable assistance.
You're welcome.
May God reward you in kind.
Good luck then.
God bless you. What troubles you?
Hey!
I've got that commission.
Not so loud, for heaven's sake. Show it here. The very thing. Go to the Sassau scribe and say to him the fox isn't half as clever as he thinks. Then he'll do as you ask.
Is that a password?
Just so. He insists on it. Don't forget to repeat it verbatim and aloud. Then all you have to do is take the new document to Carol and tell him a messenger brought it.
All right.
But most importantly, do it quickly and put the commission back immediately. Carol's no fool. If he can't find it, he'll put 2 and 2 together when you bring him the new document, and the game will be up.
Something you're looking for? What?
Good God, you look terrible.
I have a message for you.
Hmm?
The fox isn't half as clever as it thinks.
What?
The fox is cleverer
than you? What in heaven's name are you blabbering about?
Conrad Keyser sent me.
Why the hell didn't you say so?
That sod. He deliberately lied to me to make me look stupid.
Well, never mind. What do you want?
I've got this document here, and I need to have a different one drawn up with the same signature and seal.
So Conrad is still up to his old tricks. Give him my greetings. Let's see it then. All right. Give me an hour. And I hope I won't have problems on your account. God be with you. God almighty, has something happened to you?
Is it done?
Here you are. And pass on my best to the old dragon. God be with you.
God almighty, has something happened?
A messenger brought a dispatch for you.
To the hand of... I charge to be of assistance. Permission to leave Sasau? How very convenient for you.
The hand of fate.
We'll see what fate brings. I have an authorization letter of my own from the abbot, and if your letter of patent is fake, you'll be in trouble. Come with me.
God be with you.
Well, it goes against the grain, but the seal and signature are genuine.
So Conrad may leave?
He can. The letter of patent is genuine, and when the abbot commands...
Wonderful. I'll tell him.
See you later.
They're after me! Sweet Jesus, I knew this day would come!
What? Who is... Carol said you can leave and...
Leave? I can't even set foot outside the door! Not now!
Please, calm down and tell me what's going on.
They're after me!
Who? Who's after you?
Sigismund's people, of course!
Why would they be after you?
Because he's never forgiven my criticisms of Nicopolis. Now he's decided to pay me back. What am I to do?
What makes you think someone's after you?
When I was on my way to Sassau, I saw Baron Pekar in Kostelitz. He was with Sigismund on the crusade, as was I. Now I've been told he was seen at the local tavern. And a stranger's been creeping around the gardens here late at night. My God, there are signs someone was trying to force the door. They're after me, Henry. The Lord preserve me. They want to kill me.
Take it easy. If someone's after you, I'll see to him. I'll have a sniff around the town or lie in wait for him.
I don't know. What if he sneaks past you?
He won't, I promise. I'll hide in the garden, and if anyone starts creeping around after dark, I'll catch him.
You will, won't you? Good, good. And be sure to hide well. If he sees you, he won't come.
God be with you.
Do you know anything about a Master Pekar?
That nobleman that showed up recently. They say he's staying at the local inn. Good luck then.
God be with you.
Would you be Master Pekar?
I would. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Henry, of Skalitz.
And what do you want from me, Henry of Skalitz?
To ask why you've come to Sasau.
An interrogation, then, I see. On business, of course.
And who is it you're doing business with?
Why don't you ask about my mistresses instead? My trade partners are my own private concern.
Stay away from Master Kieser.
Kieser? Conrad Kieser? Why should I want anything to do with him?
So he doesn't need to worry about you?
Worry? Good Lord, no. Why, we were friends.
Right, that'll be everything.
As the master instructs. Farewell.
Good help.
Bring me something to eat.
Halt! What are you doing here?
Quiet, for God's sake. You'll wake the whole monastery.
Silence! For God's sake, I caught you in the middle of an assassination attempt.
Assassination? What are you on about?
You told me to my face you were here purely for business, that Master Kieser had no reason to fear you, and then I catch you sneaking up to his door.
Kieser? He's living here in the monastery?
Well, yes. Right here in this house. What's your business here?
It's all a terrible mistake. I've a long-standing arrangement with the custodian here, Sir Sebastian von Berg. I supply him with salt and spices, and I've come to realise how he's been cheating me repeatedly. The dispute's been running for a while and still has legs. So I wanted my money back, that's all. I've no quarrel with Conrad.
All right. I suppose I'll have to take your word for it. But stop creeping around here at night and trying to break into the house. Conrad is scared half to death and I need him in his right mind.
Very well. That does sound like Conrad. I'll think up some other plan. May the Lord watch over you.
Well, did you find anyone?
I did.
And?
You needn't fear. I kept watch the whole night and nothing happened. A few folk passed by, but nobody dangerous.
And what about Pekar? Are you saying he has no malicious intentions?
None. He's just doing some trade with the custodian. That's what brought him to where you were.
Well, if you're sure, but I'd still rather lie low for a while.
Come to Talmberg. You'll be surrounded by a whole garrison there.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that does make sense. Thank you, Henry. I'm in your debt. We'll meet at Talmberg. A well-chosen site. You want to strike the gate, do you?
True. We don't want to do more damage than necessary.
I quite understand. Sir Toth is holed up there, is he?
Just so, Master Conrad. I hear you have some accounts to settle with him.
Ah, not entirely. I've done with him. Sigismund trusted him more than me in his campaign against the Ottomans, and we all know how that ended up.
How did it end up?
Badly, my lord. The flower of French knighthood was slain there. Sigismund fled for his life, and I did too, I must confess.
Be assured we shall not make the same mistake here. We do not intend to starve them into submission, but to break down the gate.
I am at your service, my lords. We will build the trebuchet quickly. It will be ready in a matter of days. And I can supply, for example, Rocketeer to sweep the foe from the battlements.
Rocketeer? I do not believe I've heard of such a term.
Rocketeer are missiles filled with black powder with a touch hole at the bottom to ignite it. They shoot forward, something like a hand cannon, but without rocks. The rocket is the missile.
I see. But we don't have black powder in these parts. Nor cannon.
Indeed. It should have occurred to me. But I am very fond of Rocketeer, and I always think what Alexander the Great might have accomplished with them. I understand. We find ourselves in a conventional situation that demands a conventional solution.
I'm still hoping that Toth will see sense and parley with us.
He may well do so, especially when we set up the trebuchet on his doorstep.
Jesus Christ, you're...
So, is the concoction ready?
All done. Here, take the keg. I won't be lugging a heavy great thing like that around myself.
Thank you for your help.
Well, best of luck, lad. Now, I need a rest. God be with you.
Good day.
This ought to help with your sleepy soldiers.
What's in it? It stinks to hell.
Yes, and it's hellish potent too. A drop in the evening, and you won't fall asleep till just before noon.
Really? I hope it does the job. That it doesn't give them a runs in the process.
Hopefully not. But if it does, well, it's hard to sleep with the runs, isn't it?
True enough, but you're not much good as a guard when you're squatting in the bushes. God be with you.
God bless you. What troubles you?
I came to an agreement with Conrad.
He's already here. You wouldn't believe how clever that fellow is. Now we really will build that trebuchet. That I guarantee you.
Just one thing. If he should send you somewhere and tell you to give some password about a fox or some such, well, you should take it with a grain of salt.
Password? Fox? All right. I'll bear it in mind.
Glad I could be of service.
I'm truly grateful to you. And the men will be too when the assault starts. Fine work. You've certainly saved many lives. I probably shouldn't, but go and have a look in my trunk. You might find something there you can use.
Thank you.
Goodbye.